This e-lecture is part of Pearson's professional development series for first-year writing instructors.
Hello, I'm Jim McDonald, and I'm going to talk about a simple journal exercise that I have students do. I have them write metaphors that describe themselves as writers. I have actually an essay about this in my textbook, The Reader, but it doesn't require students to read anything in advance. In fact, I think it's probably best that they not see other metaphors, just a few bland metaphors that just suggest how they can go about it, but something that they can easily surpass themselves would be one. So it's a simple assignment. I ask students to write in their journals, perhaps a free write, but it doesn't have to be, 3 metaphors that describe themselves as writers. One metaphor needs to be an animal. A second metaphor needs to be an occupation, like a race car driver, perhaps. It could, something that it doesn't have to be a paying job, and then the third metaphor should be anything that they want. They not only have to give the metaphor, but they have to explain it. How are they like a race car driver when they write? It can be a standalone exercise, but I often use it with a literacy narrative or literacy autobiographical assignment, or an assignment where students are describing themselves, or their image of themselves as writers. I like to give students almost a week to come up with it. Okay, so they can devote maybe one journal entry to each metaphor if they like. Let it cook for a while. And then have them share their best metaphor with the class. One of the reasons I like this assignment is that students surprise themselves. They surprise themselves with how creative and how imaginative they are. It's coming up with metaphors is almost always going to guarantee that something is individual about what they come up with. And if 2 of them are flat, 1 of them is going to be good. And students recognize when they've come up with a good metaphor. It also is useful for me to do, especially doing this early in the class, to learn about my students' attitudes about writing and their images of themselves as writing, how insecure they are, or maybe how egotistical they are. It gives me a good, quick reading of the class. It also shows the class that metaphors aren't just stylistic ornaments, they are heuristic. They help students think their way through a subject or about a subject. And even if I'm using this assignment for a paper, they may not use the metaphor in the paper, but they've used the metaphor to come up with ideas that they can use in the paper. I get great results from it. I have students who say, for example, I'm a mockingbird. It's one of my favorites because I can only repeat the songs that other people have composed. I can't compose on my own. How many students, particularly writing a research paper, really sees themselves in that way? But mockingbird is such a good image, and that's the kind of results I think you'll get when you have students read their metaphors to you in class.
For additional e-lectures, visit Pearson's professional development site for first-year writing instructors at www.pearsonhighered.com/compro.